bike in 20 some years.
Makapag-jogging ako sandali.
Was one that meant something to me, and got a hold of me, and they just can volunteer to go out after he's packed all his stuff and do stuff, and I can start to volunteer to help raise funds for their particular legacy. It's good.
And certainly Kenny Hurricane Himes can be a force to reckon with. If he's asked you to do something, you don't turn him down, you sit on it.
Yeah, what do we got for the world of medicine here, Rob? Anything exciting happening this week? Yeah,
this is switching gears, shall we say, from our 10 feet or wherever we've got going.
May hail bed, may thunderstorm, di ba?
We've had quite a few shows on immunization and vaccinations, and it usually brings a few phone calls from people on both sides of the fence, but we typically say, it's the cornerstone of public health. Well, we think of vaccinations, again, for reducing the risk of developing whatever disease it was designed for. But they're starting to use these things for other reasons, just like other shows about we develop medication for high blood pressure, it turns out it grows hair. Hey, let's market it for that. Well, warts can be very difficult to treat, very resistant, when they quite often have the opposite case. And breathing, which feels like a bird, and this kid's
and it only works 20% of the time. That's all it ever works, stuff like with nitrogen.
Well, I'll tell you what, 84% of the time, if we inject those warts, especially those resistant warts, with the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, usually you can get a response within the first time, up to 5 times if needed. Really? Yeah. You keep injecting that at 2 weeks intervals. They've done multiple studies on this and found that you can get up to 84% rate of wiping those warts right
within 20 years. Oh, so if you got a recalcitrant or your wart, measles vaccine,
MMR vaccine.
It probably stimulates the immune response.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who decided to let's inject that. Let's see what else we got around the office here. We've tried the liquid nitrogen. We've tried the planted wart.
So and the wart.
What's in the fridge over here? Let's shoot that in there.
So the wart doesn't get a rash or anything like that.
No, but I can't imagine that chasing the kids around to put a little bit of injection into that area. 87% of people, by the way, reported pain with an injection of the wart. What a surprise! Yeah. Okay, but it works,
especially if it's the one on the eyelid.
Yeah.
Well, unhealthy foods like sweets and chips are the most appealing to people who haven't had enough sleep. Now, that means that basically junk food is more appealing when you're sleepy, when you're tired.
Oh.
Means I must have narcolepsy. But it's interesting that when researchers examined the areas of the brain that were most active when people were looking at healthy or unhealthy foods, they found the reward centers of the brain were activated when deep sleep-deprived study volunteers saw pictures of unhealthy foods. So those areas of the brain that are involved with pleasure-seeking and addictive behaviors were more strongly activated in people who did not get enough sleep. And vice versa, those who slept well didn't activate. In fact, they took those same people and got them some decent sleep and listened to our show for quite some time, and they all fell asleep. And when the same people were allowed to rest a full night, they had no such activation in the brain's reward center when they saw the unhealthy foods. So we've always heard about the fact that it's important to lose weight, get your sleep. More and more, we know now why. It's because when you're not well rested, you tend to have a reward system going off in your brain every time you see a fast chips. Well, speaking of that, we're going to have a party here at Free For All. We're going to take your call on any medical matter. Doesn't even matter if it's medical. We will try and answer your calls at 1-877-399-9898 or 604-280-9898. You're listening to Wisewise on the Core Radio Network.